Welcome back, everyone. Today, Monday morning, we got an 05 F-150 here. It was towed in last Friday, finally getting around to it. Customer had a buddy of his put some spark plugs in it. He got 7 of them in. He didn't get all 8 of them. Tried putting the 8th one in and either stripped it out or something. He said that he put it in, started the engine, and it blew the spark plug out. So let's get in inside, check some threads, and hopefully we can put a plug in this. We're just gonna drive it in. It'll be popping and banging without that spark plug in that hole, but we just need to get it inside. She did not like that at all. Let's pop the hood, stick a camera down that hole, and see what the threads look like. Number 3 hole back here is the culprit. 1, 2, 3, third one back. There's nothing in there. So we got our camera set up here. Let's turn our light on so we can see down in there. There's our hole. Oh, camera froze. So it doesn't look like there's a sleeve still in there. It looks like we got that out. And I even asked the customer just to make sure, and he said the plug came completely out. Let's get a look at the threads back here. Threads don't look like they're stripped. Maybe the first couple got pulled when that spark plug blew out of there. All right, we're gonna stick a tap down there, see if we can start some threads there, and see if we can screw a plug back in it. All right, so we got the spark plug that was put in there. This was a new plug, I should say, but this is the one that blew out when he had his buddy install it. So I just went ahead, ordered a new plug, just so we don't risk anything. That way we know for sure that this plug will be just fine. There's no cracks or nothing in it. This one, I just don't trust. So, got our new plug, got our 16 by 1.5 tap, 12-point 11mm socket, and then our spark plug socket. This is a 9/16 Matco brand. I like this one because it's actually magnetic. Kind of cool. But yeah, first off we're gonna start with some assembly lube and just kind of get a little on these threads here, or this tap, just in case there's any metal debris that we're cutting through. We can make sure that doesn't go down in the cylinder. So all right, we'll get our camera set up here and try and make some new threads. All right, so it's probably kind of hard to see there. Sorry about the camera angle. One thing I was going to tell you, I ended up taping that socket on there. I normally have the tap sockets, I just didn't have one in that size. That's a pretty big tap. So let's get that down in there. Get our extension on there. Alright. First thing, just see if we can find a thread by hand here. It actually feels like it wants to kind of start there. Let's get a ratchet on here. Take our time just to see if we can slowly screw it down in there. I don't think we'll have to do a lot here, hopefully. These plugs are angled a little bit, so you gotta make sure you're angled with the way they go in. Just kind of checking to make sure alignment's good there. Not having to put a whole lot of pressure on here, so again, I think we're just cleaning up the threads that were damaged here. Actually feels really good right there. Alright, so these threads aren't that deep. Let's pull it back out and kind of check and see where we're at here. Let me pull this ratchet off here. Try to. Good sign that it is screwing out by hand. So there is a little bit on there. Alright, I'm going to take some compressed air, just clean this out, and then we'll get the inspection camera back down in there and see what it looks like. Let's check out these threads and just see what we got going on here. The good thing is that we didn't cross thread it. That's a plus. It's hard to see that leading edge there. I think we're probably good right there. I think we're going to try and screw in a plug and see if she takes. So we got our plug here. I did put a little bit of anti-seize on the threads there. Let's just see if we can screw this in by hand. If I did my job right, we should be able to screw it in by hand. Perfect. Let's make sure we can tighten it up here. Well, I definitely got it in a lot farther than they got it in. This isn't going to blow out. got good threads in there now. Need a little bit longer extension. She's tight. Get my socket off there. All right, let's bolt the coil back on it and see how she runs. Find the hole. All right. So typically what happens is when a spark plug blows out in one of these, I should say the old 5.4s, the 2 valves had all sorts of issues with spark plugs blowing out. Let's get our connectors plugged in here. One coil. Looks like we have an injector unplugged. Alright, yeah, how it did not break that coil when the spark plug blew out is beyond me. Typically, like I said, any 5.4, the 2 valves had a big issue with spark plugs blowing out, and then it would blow the coil off, break that. But yeah, I think this guy is going to get lucky because he didn't know anything about having a special tool to remove these plugs. He actually had the updated plugs in it before, from what I understand. So whoever replaced the 7 of these spark plugs was able to get the old spark plugs out completely. If you know anything about Ford 5.4 3-valve engines, they had issues with spark plugs breaking off in the cylinder head. And you have to have a special tool to get those out. It breaks a little sleeve off in there, and then you have to retrieve it with a tool. And then they came out with updated plugs to prevent that from happening. So I think this guy got lucky, just kind of messed up the threads or something on this one plug. But right now we're going to clear some codes. Sometimes the ECM will actually shut the injector off on a misfire event on some of these engines. If it's like a constant misfire, it shuts down the injector. So what we want to do is make sure that we don't have any issues with that. We're going to clear codes, try and start this up. He said it ran fine before he had the plugs put in it. So I did ask him that just to make sure that there was no drivability issues that we're trying to fix here. He said it was just a maintenance deal. So we're going to do that. I do notice that he does have a intake gasket leaking here. We got some coolant along the top of the cylinder head here, so that's indicative of a intake manifold gasket that is leaking coolant. So I'll have to talk to him about that, see what he wants done. So yeah, we'll see how this engine runs. All right, codes are cleared. Let's cross our fingers and hope this thing runs decent. Let's start it up. Well, she's running, no misfires. Guy got lucky. I think he's gonna be pretty happy. So this is gonna do it for another one. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.